Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna turn that down a little bit.
Yeah, rest is trying to join.
I think I can invite Lobos.
Install push to mute. Is it worth installing?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. It doesn't take that long. You just need to go get the Thunder Store. You might already have that from, like, Lethal Company.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. No.
That was perfect.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larxa. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Hello, Tuka.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Lopus.
Happy
Just
birthday.
waiting on. Thank you so much. Just
Happy
waiting
birthday.
on Apollo. Thank you.
Oh my god, I need to, like, dude, I feel like
she's on the
What
way.
up, gamers? Oh,
I'll
be right back.
The audio levels are like...
Yeah.
I hope you had that cat following you around for all of your day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so happy
nice.
I have it.
Yeah, it's no longer hostage.
Yeah. Alright, Apollo is incoming.
I don't know, my audio levels are just kind of whacked out, dude.
I also can't believe I got selected for BWL.
so I've heard.
Did you actually did?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I'm glad you got in. Yeah,
Congrats.
Damn.
they felt guilty because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
You picked the right day to be born, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you die at another time.
Oh,
That is very possible, but I'll go out with a bang at least.
yeah. I expect to
be
die,
pretty-
honestly.
Yeah.
I think
I would be
Soda
cool
expects...
to see you finish the BWL.
Is your birthday today?
Yeah, today.
Nice.
I'm
How's
just waiting
the-
on Apollo.
Okay. How's the Valheim going, Lobos?
Oh, so good. I'm alive.
I saw you were playing the other day, Lepa.
Yeah.
Oh?
Valheim?
Oh, I've been playing it
But
offline, just testing it a bit. Hardcore,
Mhm.
progression really slow.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hate it. Can't wait to play more.
I tried
Almost, didn't
Valheim
your
for...
tower fall?
No, but I took the top off.
Ah,
It's evolving.
I see.
Apollo!
Apollo!
Yay! Alright, let's start. Let's see.
Okay. Dude, I barely remember BWL. That's cool though that she got in. I didn't know. She didn't even tell me, dude.
No,
I went into her room, she didn't even
Wait,
tell me.
shit, am I still orange?
You're
Yeah,
orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, lock in gamers.
Yeah, let's log in.
Hey,
Hi.
It's been a while since I played.
Apollo.
Oh,
Bring Larxa gifts!
Oh yeah,
yeah,
everything is for Larxa.
Larxa, here you go.
Oh, thank you, I love
For
that.
you.
I
For
got so
you,
many
take
gifts
it.
for you.
Oh, thank you so
Take-
much. I always
You're
wanted
welcome.
the
Don't
antique
break
Chinese
it.
days.
Yes,
I found nothing.
Oh, very funny story about a
I knew this.
I will not talk about it.
Coming on through. Oh, that's a nice TV.
I feel a little heavy for me right now.
I got
Not
you.
used to being such a
Always.
weakling.
Oh, careful.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. What?
Honey.
Oh!
You bumped it into it.
Scared me.
Apollo!
My bad.
That's,
Apollo.
That was not me.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, thank you. I need to find Larxa a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're all trying to do.
But I'm gonna find the best one.
Scary music.
I'll find a better one.
Oh, it's not
Plates.
good enough. Oh.
Okay, that's crazy. You just...
Clown!
Plate.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck?
Clown. There's a clown. He's
Clown?
coming. Clown is coming.
Clown. It's
Right
me.
there. Oh, no, no,
Oh,
no.
it's Larxa.
Oh, Jesus.
You call Larxa a clown?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yes.
On her.
Gnomes.
I'm going
Oh
under here.
my god, a clown!
I told you.
No. Aye, they're breaking the TV.
Bruh.
Dude, that was...
Thought he was gonna.
Oh!
I'm alive. Hey. Get in there. Careful with the den. Oh.
Ah! Get out of here!
There are gnomes. Oh.
I'm getting this out of here.
Oh my fucking god!
Is everyone else okay? I got Lobo's head.
Okay, good.
Oh shit. He's coming.
Yeah, it's on its way. We should. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck. You drove me over!
Well, I will get Lobos.
I'm really fucking scared. Oh, he's coming. Can he come in here? Oh shit. Oh,
We need. I'm afraid Larxa might be dead. I need to go save her.
Larxa's not dead.
Okay.
Dude,
Is everyone
we missed out
okay?
on champagne.
You pop the cork.
Alright,
Hold on.
I'm here.
I'll pop it.
For Larxa.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. Can we pop the cork not next to the clown?
How do I pop it?
Did you do it? I don't think it's working. Wait, can you? Oh shit! Larxa, come
Pop
here!
the champagne.
Oh, where's she?
Oh shit!
Woo! Champagne.
Oh. No.
Larxa!
Oh my god.
Why did you fucking do that?
We're okay.
Yeah, we're
I
fine.
wanted to be heroic.
Mission
guys.
failed. We lost Larxa.
Oh, she's
Back.
back.
I'm
Get
going
back.
down.
Dude, as soon as I got rest, I got lasered instantly.
Yeah, I
Still.
know.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Alright, Larxa gets
my
all
God.
the upgrades.
Yeah. True.
I want
You get to buy everything.
large health pack.
Nice.
You don't want stamina?
Yeah, I
Super
want
health.
Run
those.
speed?
Yeah.
That's 24k. Oh, we can take this out.
Alright, let's
Does
just
this
buy
look good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average.
Oh, a card with 2 pocket cards.
Oh, let's go!
That's a crazy strat right there, actually.
Oh yeah.
Somebody need help? I can touch you.
Oh yeah. I can heal somebody.
I had a large health
I
pack.
got 26. Not good.
Oh, fuck.
Fine.
I'm gonna die again anyways.
Nah, no deaths. No deaths. Let's go.
What's up, Emerald? Hey, Fear. Thank you for the 18 months.
It's time to make it to quota 5.
Thank you, man.
Health pack!
Yeah.
Let's go!
Go!
Blurpa.
Holy shit, I'm juiced up. Does anyone need back shots? I'm full health.
I have
Excuse
1
me?
health point because I got lasered twice.
Oh, here, come
I
here,
need
come
help.
here.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm too healthy. Too healthy.
You're too
Yeah.
healthy?
Too healthy?
Thank
There you
you. Thank.
A priest in WoW and a priest in R.E.P.O.
Hell yeah.
Who's that?
Ooh, that's a big
Oh,
potion.
stop the cart! Stop the cart! What the? Or are you? Are you taking?
I'm just gonna take it in.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming
It's a
through.
fun up, although.
Yeah, I find a diamond. I want to give it to Larxa and
Careful
then
now.
block it.
Don't cheat.
Why, did you break something?
Yeah, I want to give you a...
Is the cart empty? Ooh, we gotta get to work.
Yeah. Oh,
Ow!
sorry. I do this a lot. You'll get used to it.
I noticed, yeah. My god. Oh, I just closed it. There's nothing in here, right?
There's a thing.
There was one thing.
Money. Yeah.
What?
$600. Huge.
Go
Huge.
forth. Touch
It's
the
a good
demon
birthday gift.
inside me.
Ooh.
Wait, is that a monster? Oh,
Shotgun! I have glow.
Hello?
Whoa.
Oh! Wasn't there a guy with... Yeah, where's he?
Can turn this in, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Mix something in the pot. Huh? This pot? I'm not gonna try. I'm not trying hard. What you mean, dude? I'm just vibing. Oh boy.
Don't make a sound.
God!
Watch this, chat. I'm gonna knock him over.
Jesus Christ.
Missed.
What the fuck?
This is a little sus. I didn't kill him. That was not me. Don't worry, I'll get the heads. I will save Larxa. Surely everyone's not dead, right? Sure. Surely I'm not the only one. Okay.
Somebody over there?
R.E.P.O.
Hello. Oh, that's a lot of corpses.
Yeah.
Everyone else is dead.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I think we got enough.
I mean, there's loads more stuff over here. I ain't afraid to loot it all. Help me with this.
Sure.
Careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob. What, maybe we should tilt it?
Yeah. Just let go.
maneuvering?
I'm
Lift it.
Almost. Looks good. Totally not gonna
Give me a
have this
second.
roll off.
I didn't check here yet.
Is it? Am I missing a head? Oh, somebody's head is already
Oh,
there.
Larxa.
Ooh. Birthday crown.
Yay.
Oh. I feel like the gun guy's about to like sneak up behind me and kill me. Alright.
That's all. Look at us, huh?
Beautiful.
We did it.
Good job.
This isn't gonna break,
Saving the
right?
team. No, I think it's fine.
Oh, we should go.
Let's go!
Oh my god. All of us? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's escape, guys.
Was that a gnome sound?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Lapa.
I thought it was you. I was like so proud of you.
No, I.
Oh.
I'm okay.
That's good, that's good. Oh, I see him there. Guys, what if we kill him before we leave?
It's a nice distraction for us all. Are you good? This
I'm good.
Nice.
Got you.
Nice headbutt.
Alright, let's go.
Let's go!
Am I headbutting you?
Yeah.
No!
Oh,
Start the ship!
I'm sure the gunman's not gonna come over and shoot all of us.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
Oh no, the parasite.
Puker.
Oh Jesus.
Oh shit, okay.
Alrighty.
Bonk him. Smash. Oh.
I'm roaching.
I'm Arthur.
Bad vibes. Vibes off.
27k. All good.
Can we rent?
Need to buy more health.
Stamina.
More stamina for Larxa.
I want a tumble
you need more
launch
stamina.
upgrade.
Giga Stem!
All of it.
And strength.
That's all I want.
Giga Stem!
Can we check up here?
Birthday grenade.
Birthday grenade!
Wait.
Holy.
Oh my
I guess
goodness.
it's fine.
Another birthday grenade.
What the fuck? No!
Happy birthday!
Surprise.
God damn it.
Let's see, we have 1k left. Jesus, that's a landmine.
Oh shit, oh fuck.
Birthday landmine!
Oh no!
I didn't
Oh, hey!
Polo! What was that?
Just make people fall constantly.
Are
What was
we?
that?
I saved us.
Oh, fool.
Alright, I'm just getting the launch upgrade.
Okay. I'm gonna step away and make lunch real quick.
Yeah,
I'll pull down
sounds
the
good.
fort here. Grab
Yeah, sounds good.
Good luck.
Let's do it.
Let's go!
Okay, let's like all the monsters in here.
Yeah.
Let's kill all the monsters.
Yeah.
Kill them?
You can!
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we headbutt him? to death?
You need to bring weapons and stuff though, right?
Probably. If you're strong enough, you can like smack the monsters like around.
Damn!
Yeah. You can upgrade your oh,
Strange.
careful with the vase. You can upgrade your like jump launch
And
also.
stuff. Oh yeah.
We can bring this back to the extraction point actually.
Yeah.
Wanna carry it? Oh, there's a scary child in here.
Okay,
Don't
got
look
it.
at it. I heard something. Ooh.
I heard something too.
Papa. I'm not the Papa.
Comfy sauna.
All kids are scary. I need a Swedish birthday program.
I kind of want some cake.
Why did Apollo not like that song? Great action.
Yes, that time you were going to sing a birthday song and you were tricking her.
Oh.
I need to sing a song about frogs.
It's just because I found a frog.
Ooh.
Oh!
Larxa, are you having cake today?
Nah, I don't have time. I need to grind.
Can't you order
Yeah.
Oh, there's a girl behind the door.
Yeah, I might order cake.
cake? Yeah, you should.
Ow.
Yeah.
That was
Alright,
mean.
go open it this way. Can you
Oh,
help
there's
me
a
with the...
scary doll right there.
I found the best Finnish streamer review.
Oh my
Oh god. Oh jeez.
It's
Oh,
fine, it's fine.
that's good. Perfect. Oh, no.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. I was trying to get the door out of here.
What the fuck? What the fuck? It's fun around! Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Santa. Oh, no.
My
Run.
glass!
Get out.
Hey, who's Santa?
Santa?
Santa's coming in, not the good kind. This is evil Santa.
Oh, you. Oh, it is just a good Santa.
Where'd he go? Oh, it's the Marshmallow Man. What the fuck? Papa? What the hell is going on? Papa?
Do something! Help!
What?
Stop fucking laughing! Help me! Fucking help! It's not funny! It's
pretty-
creepy!
it's
I can
pretty
see
funny.
down its mouth!
I've never seen this before. Wait, hold on, I'll throw something at it. Wait, guys, you guys all gotta look at this. Look at what's happening to Larva.
This isn't an exhibit! Help
It is.
me!
Oh!
Larva's stuck in the chair.
I can't get out!
What the fuck, Lapa?
Wait, what even is that?
Is anyone else dead?
At home. Oh my god.
Santusi? Are you guys gonna do anything, please?
Yeah. Where did I put that item?
Yeah. Oh.
Careful, Apollo. That's very expensive. I got you, Lepa.
Never destroy
Lapa's
anything.
stuck. Look, he's underneath the
I
stick.
think it's glitched,
What
actually.
the
Fuck.
I hit it.
Yeah, hit it!
Yeah, kill him.
Oh, okay. Wait, guys. I got it.
Oh, that's...
Here we go. It might kill Leppa, but that's okay.
Run.
Oh shit.
Oh,
there you go.
Well,
I think he's still alive. Oh, he's still alive. He's still alive. Oh fuck. Anything in here? Oh, this is a good hiding spot. Bye.
I'm gonna hit him with this ball.
That might actually kill him.
Pretty low, I think.
Oh,
Ruh-roh.
bad idea. Oh my god.
Oh, he killed somebody. Whoops.
Also broken item. Multiple, I think.
I think he killed Apollo.
No.
Oops, my bad.
Can we
Die.
use it as a weapon? Use the head as a weapon, yes.
I think Leppa's dead.
He's still alive for now.
I think I have Apollo's head.
Oh,
Ow!
he used Gorfine's grasp. Okay. Ah, no.
Ruh-roh.
Oh my god. Oh no, duck! Oh, Leppa's dead. Oh my god.
Is he
I saw him
actually?
get pulled. Yes. Larxa's dead too.
Alright, you take the
Get her
cart back.
Yeah.
I'm throwing. Is there any other heads? Oh, there's another one.
That's it, yeah?
I think so.
I'll go res them.
Alright. Let's see if there's anything else. Where's... Oh yeah, Lobos is eating. Wait, is he still... Is Lobos still in the truck? Operation kill this fucking guy. That didn't even do anything. It doesn't even hurt him. Oh, there's a rhino. I'll put this here. Somebody can grab it. There's a marshmallow. Ooh, a doll. Oh! Oh my god! Oh jeez. Well, there goes the statue, I guess. Guys? Hello? Oh no, somebody's dead over there. Okay, what's the plan? Let's... Dude, what is this loot? There's a painting? Dude, what is happening? Oh shit, I'm gonna break this.
What are you doing? Oh! I said it, man!
Jesus, look. Somebody's dead back there.
Oh. We have 1 HP. It's leaving.
Okay.
Need to get more stuff.
There's a painting right here. Hiding in the grass. He's running. He's running. Okay, let's grab this painting. Lepa.
Hold on, hold on. I got a diamond. Coming back.
You want to help? Thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Slow and steady.
Right?
Oh no. Is it? Oh. Okay. Put it against the back wall.
Okay. Like this?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, that's good. Oh.
Oh. Hi. Like,
There. All
I'll
right,
hold it from the. Maybe like give it a roll. Mouse roll. Okay.
That looks fine. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Oh.
There's big items here.
Oh, hi, Lobos.
Oh,
Hey.
no. No. I'm afraid.
No,
There's a
this is fun. Don't worry
statue we
about it.
can all grab.
Yeah,
Is
this
Larxa
statue.
okay?
I think there's like 3 heads in that.
All right, I'm gonna go. Actually, I can take the heads back to the main. I'll take the heads back to the main ship. Oh wait, maybe they got the. Maybe he has the heads in the cart. I think they got rezzed. They're fine. Oh, I'm gonna go grab a snack. Surely they'll make it back. They'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, we good? Just wait for the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my ramen. Oh, hello.
So... What the fuck?
Oh, they're okay, right? Hi, Lobos. Lobos?
Oh, sorry. Your door, like, squeaking and then closing sounded like a nuclear bomb or something.
Oh, what the? Are they all dead?
I don't know. Most of the monsters are on the corridor.
Heard a guy
Coming this
roar
way.
like a minute ago. Hello?
Careful, man.
Oh.
Okay,
Sounds-
okay.
Oh.
There we go.
Ah!
Santa's coming.
Stamless.
Ow!
Hey, you're back.
I'm back, I'm back.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Good job, guys.
Easy.
We almost didn't save you though. Close.
Yeah, true.
Thanks for saving me.
Ooh, we can get a second card.
Hawk? Yeah, let's do it. And some elf.
Let's
card.
go.
Second.
Yeah, help we need.
Yeah.
Second card.
Health we need.
Kind of orc.
That's my favorite. It's so cute.
Ah!
Oh.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Home run.
Violence!
Yeah.
Someone's on a spree.
Ow.
What's happening? Oh my god.
Okay, we got everything.
Manic.
Let go!
Were you
Are we
trying to
going
kill me?
upstairs?
Hello?
It's your birthday.
Oh yeah! Let's go
I just got-
upstairs.
I
Wait,
just got knocked
Go.
into the tube.
I don't think I ever came in here.
Wait, someone stole my weapon.
I don't think there's anything here.
Apollo.
I don't think so either.
Apollo, press Q.
It's your birthday.
I wanna go in the hole.
Okay, where are you taking me?
Whoops.
Yeah, it's up here.
No! Wait! Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
You're stuck now.
Close it.
Alright, don't let her out.
What
She's
the hell
stuck.
is door closed?
She's stuck. Don't let her out. You can't leave. You're in the birthday attic now. You can leave in 10 hours.
It smells weird up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you buying anything else?
You bring help, right?
Up there, what the fuck?
No, that's probably why it smells weird. Yeah.
Destroying slackers.
Oh, we don't have the money. Let's go. Apollo, spring.
Oh, shit, fuck, I'm gonna miss
You're
it.
dying.
Madden. I am Explosive Sky.
Oh.
What?
Explosive Sky.
Who?
What's explosive sky?
I have a mine and a grenade.
Oh.
Oh, explosives guy. I heard sky.
Oh, explosive sky!
Yes.
Hey, what in the part? Wow.
Okay, let's get some epic loot. Oh, I found base.
Diamond.
Oh. Yeah.
Diamond.
First part's looking good. Okay, it's.
What?
I can handle this. No, stop
Look at my
breaking!
Oh, cute.
I need help with cube. Oh, come help cube. Are you? You're standing still.
I really hope we get an update for this game tomorrow, man. I love this game. Like, this game's so much fun, but played it a little too much.
Yes.
You guys probably jam it in here.
Damn. Easy.
Okay. I'm gonna take this back. Oh.
Oh, that's a big cube right there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you wanna take that
I'm
to the
stacked.
start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
It's
you?
good.
Could you?
I see a big item on the map.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, right here.
Oh wait, this isn't the start. I'm stupid.
Right.
I'm going the wrong way. Oopsies.
You also need to be careful.
There's something here.
This is my birthday crown. I should get both.
Larxa is genuinely my superstar.
Oh my god! It's a nice thing of a sesame!
Yeah, I mean, Huntsman is strong, but like the issue is, once you hit a certain point in this game, everything becomes like, you can just kill it by just picking it up, which I think is a little like, I don't know. The end, like when you get to the later levels, they need to have some sort of implementation to prevent you from being able to like kill everything so easily.
Thank you so much.
What's going on over there?
What?
Hmm. That's awkward.
Away.
Is that a staff?
Nice. Nice. Nice.
You guys can go, go
I'll
res.
return this one. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh, duck. Rat row.
I don't know if anything can spawn around the back. I don't think I've seen anything back here before.
Huge money room back this way. Like insane money room.
Oh.
Oh
But
wait,
like-
it's Tuca.
Like Griffin and some other shit. Cube.
Oh, Cuba.
Cube.
Guys, we found the mother load.
Alright, let's get this in.
Okay, well, we can do this both together.
Yeah, I believe.
No, man.
We don't need
Get
men.
it nice and perfect.
Yep, yep.
Ah,
you're the
oh, does it empty below? Oh, nice.
Okay, we need to
Oh,
bring
yeah.
it to the point.
Are you guys
You're really
griffining?
good.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's right over
Oh,
here. isn't it?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, it is. No, it's stuck!
Wait, what's this? There's a broom here.
A broom?
Yeah,
Wait,
broom.
wait, wait, hold on, we need to pivot, we need to pivot.
There's a potion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold the front.
Oh,
Raise it.
Wah,
Raising?
you heard nothing.
Raise it further. Oh, that works.
Where's the broom?
broom. Right here, right here.
Oh.
Is that one manable? Do you have any
I think you can one man it, yeah. Oh,
Oh.
gosh.
stats?
Yeah, I can try to grab it. I think I can.
Put it here. This is good.
That's still good.
Nice. That looks good. Don't break it.
Going the wrong way.
Okay. Oh, oh, the statues. Toucan statues.
What do you mean?
I bring giant ball. Oh my god!
Oh. Where's the cart?
Oh,
Balls?
Monkey.
Whoa, what the heck was that? Oh, what? He's dead? What did you
Wait.
do? Killed him.
Toucan just
You
died!
killed him.
How did he
Apollo!
die?
I think the ball killed him. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
A likely story.
die?
Killed him?
She actually murdered him
I did.
with
It
this
was an
bottle. This is
accident.
the murder object.
What?
Did he have 1 HP? Oh shit. Can we even fit all this? I don't.
Damn.
Did anyone else die though?
I think we can fit, right?
Yeah, just shove it in.
Probably. Might need to
There's
take the
nothing
ball
else
off.
in the other cart, so
Nimbus,
Yeah.
three-
yeah, I'll toss the ball on after.
There's another broom?
Broom?
She said Nimbus 3000. Isn't that the broom?
Oh, unless that's the
maybe
their
she
thing of the one I grabbed before.
Yeah. We got it, by the way.
Oh, the Nimbus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's wedged in there. Hard to see.
Nice.
Okay, now we just need to get everything on the platform at the same time.
Nice, Lappa. Working hard or hardly working?
There's some nice balls, man. What the fuck are you guys on about? Shut the fuck up.
I'm definitely working
Fortune.
hard.
All right.
No.
Oh,
I need
get
help
ready
with
with.
Griffin. Any Griffins? Any
Yeah.
Griffiners?
Oh, hurry,
Oh boy. Okay. Griffin in.
ball! Okay.
The ball! Ah!
Jesus.
Nice. Oh,
I'm leaving.
heard something. Do you guys want ride back? Here, jump in.
Wait.
Apollo is a murderer, by the way.
Press Q.
I'm not a murderer.
You?
Yeah, go
An
tiny.
accident.
Splasher
It's called
coming.
manslaughter.
What?
Okay, don't worry, guys. I'll keep you safe.
I was gonna...
Monka.
That is scary, actually.
Yeah.
Not again, please. I've died every possible round, by the way, so far. I just died to everything.
Come on, Lobos, get in.
You're just getting experience.
Lappa, get out the truck! Come here, press Q.
Ow. Oh,
Oh, the duck's here, too.
Press Q. Yeah, just don't touch it.
Let's go.
we're flying.
Yeah, we can make it. Oh,
And now you guys have all your stamina. It's
Little egg.
perfect.
I think we lost
Yeah.
someone.
Did we lose someone?
No, maybe we didn't.
Lipa jumped out, I think. Hey, there he is.
My chat's offering 10 subs if I toss you all in a pit.
What?
Oi. Do it. Do it.
You wouldn't do it for 10, right? It'll be 20 at least. At least 20.
For free.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Oh, we're so rich.
Go. 120k.
Whoa!
Yo.
Holy moly.
Wow, so many toy hammers.
Ow.
Oops. Talk?
You're gonna be so strong after these
Then we
cigarettes.
can lift everything.
Get all the
What are you?
stamina.
No, look after the dad!
What?
Down. He's gonna
What?
shoot
Ah.
me.
I'm getting a baby cart. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah. Drop that.
What's this? What is this thing?
Don't do anything. The train.
Hmm? Oh.
Oh yeah, it makes you roll. It's really weird. Apparently it
What the
works
hell?
on the enemies though. Like you can make them fall
But
over.
why do you want to roll?
I'm gonna get
Maybe you
it.
can pick them up.
Oh shit.
Crank gun.
Pew pew pew.
This one
Give me
just
that. Give me that.
recharges.
Oh no.
Get none.
Get him.
Oh no.
I wasn't shooting. No,
Get him.
Holy shit!
I give up. I give up. Okay.
Dude, the accuracy on this thing is horrible. I've shot Larxa like 10 times.
Oh no. Somebody help
I
me
guess
out.
I'll just add all the fucking
Eight
upgrades.
days.
I got
What?
Lock Apollo. Lock Apollo in. Lock her in.
I don't want to go here.
Yeah.
You're going into the pit.
Get in there.
You go to the pit. And you will
Close the
stay
door.
there. Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
No, you're in prison.
Yo, call up the yeah.
Hold it until the last second.
Start
Oh, we're
the
gonna.
truck, yeah,
Alright, I'm
start
destroying
the truck.
slackers.
Start the truck. Okay, you'll have a slight chance to get out. You have a slight chance to get out.
You have 5 seconds.
5,
Rip
4,
Apollo.
3, 2. Apollo, that is your punishment for murdering me in cold
Oh
blood.
my
That is
God.
very fair.
Toxic lobby right here.
Oh.
Get him,
Holy
Larxa.
shit.
That was terrifying. Damn, you're so
What?
beefed up.
Screw it.
Yeah,
But you
get
guys
him.
also need upgrades.
No,
Nah.
it's
Not
all for
this-
you.
Maybe
Yeah,
next
you
game.
carry us.
I took
I have
one
like, I
health.
have like 5 stam. Holy shit.
Your
Maybe
juice.
next time.
Count.
Do you want the drones?
God.
Here's them.
No.
Okay.
Drones.
I'm gonna take my little baby car with me.
I take feather drone.
Hog?
Hog? Hmm.
Let's see if there's any stuff up
A
here.
face.
A vice?
A boss.
Bad wall.
Balls?
Nothing.
Here you go. Oi!
Oh. My
Been
bad.
murdered. That's not
Can
your
be
bad.
stuff
You
in
do it
here.
every time.
Oh, this is a big map.
Whoa. I found a bomb.
Is that a fan? Oh, Lobos?
Help me with this, maybe. Oh. Can we get this onto the cart?
Let's do it.
I believe.
Okay.
Maybe the fan's in the way.
All right. No, it's okay. Just pull it. We just gotta pull it this way now.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Beautiful.
Yo, that's
Does it
crazy.
fit?
Lepa, it was perfect. Okay, it's fine.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Gamers.
I'm still touching it though.
All right. Surely it's all right. You want to take the card? I don't trust myself.
Oh, me? Okay. Yeah, the guy with the most ping. Okay, sure.
Wait, is that gonna fit through the door?
I don't know. I can't see the.
Holy shit.
That's
you
not
know
gonna
what? It
fit
might
through
not
the
fit.
door.
Oh my.
Lepa
You
has
gotta
the
carry it,
feather. Lobos has the. Oh,
What's that?
I'm scared.
Lobos has the feather drone. I don't know. Should we just take
Oh,
it to
we
the
can get it,
extract?
we can-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, do it.
There's no
We can
space.
get it.
What do you mean? Oh, just bring it?
Yeah, just carry
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's fine. It's gonna take a little minus, but it's okay. Not that big of a deal.
No, we're not even gonna let it get hit.
The door's closed though. Alright. See? Well
Beautiful.
done.
Do we want to turn it in?
It's done.
Here's the card.
Yeah, sure.
You want to get the bag?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. Is there a cart in here?
Larxa, are you okay? I heard your voice is squeaky.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Oh yeah.
I think
Hey,
Larxa.
there's nothing up there. I already cleared it. There
Okay.
was a huge server. Yeah.
What? I can see something up there. What the
Can
hell?
you?
Oh, it's this thing. I can see this thing. See? Right here. Down.
Oh. Right. Wait, can we put it
It's
in?
over here.
No, I don't think it fits.
There's
in.
no
Monster
way.
coming. Monster's coming.
What monster?
It's the tall lady with
Oh god.
evil
Okay.
fingers that
We
tries to
can
murder.
tilt this, put it on the cart.
Oh.
and
What?
take the cart to the next step.
It's running away. It's going away.
I got a bus.
Help me. Help me.
What are we doing? Putting it on the cart?
It's coming.
Put it on the
Disto.
cart. Yes,
On
tilt
your
Oh,
it.
careful. Lepa. We have company. We'll get the tower, buddy. Don't worry. Oh, is she gonna... Oh, shit.
No, don't.
Dude, she's gonna explode the loot!
No, she's not gonna do anything.
Okay.
The Groke.
Hmm. Well. What's it doing?
She is.
We can't get it. Perfect.
She's gone. So what are we doing? We're putting this on the cart?
Yeah.
Like, flat?
Yeah, flat.
I'm gonna pull it this way. You grab the butt.
Grabbing the butt.
Alright. Can you lift the butt?
Trying to lift. Okay.
Is it here?
What the fuck was that? I don't know. I just heard a scream.
Oh, Lepa!
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. I think it's good. Jesus. It's
It
good.
just launches when I grab it. I just want to get the door out of the way.
Okay.
Help me! God damn it. There we go. Alright, I got this.
Alright, here. I'm gonna help guide it.
Good.
Alright.
Oh my god. Distant Lepa's moving call right here. Oh! Somebody dead? Somebody's dead behind you?
I think that was the Reaper lady. Wait. Oh,
Oh no.
okay.
Oh no, help!
Oh, I'm sorry. Alright.
Lost precious cargo.
I don't know if it's gonna... Is it gonna fit in like this?
You wanna put it upright?
It weighs...
just put it upright.
It's slightly too expensive, though. It's gonna... Well, I
By
guess it's...
itself?
Yeah.
Point.
Oh, true.
Is there anybody we need to res? Wait, there's a head right here.
There's
Larxa-
a
yeah,
head.
Larxa.
I have Lobo's head
She
here
died.
too.
Oh wow, this is a lot of stuff, hey.
Here's Lobo's head.
Let's get everything. Let's get everything in.
There's a big item in here. Yeah.
You want to put this in the cart?
Yeah, this fell off the cart.
Sure.
It is.
Then we
Looks
can
good.
put both carts, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do it now and carry on.
Okay. We're gonna have to do the tower first, though.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Go.
No, it's fine.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what are you putting in? Oh my god! No, that's too much stuff! No!
Oh, this
No
is gonna
such
break.
thing as too much. This is perfect.
Oh my god.
Did that break?
I don't know. It's alright.
I don't think it did.
Hey,
I don't think it did.
Oh, I see shattered stuff here.
Look at that fat sack!
Oh yeah.
Huge sack, actually. Yeah.
I think it was too
Holy
tall.
shit.
I think it worked. I think we got everything.
Yeah. That was perfect.
Ah, easy.
Sure, there's not going to be a monster around the corner here.
Really not.
Okay, one more extraction point.
Ah! What the hell?
Oh.
Owie. Hey! Twice! Why am I so targeted? It's by a complete accident, too.
Or
God.
is it?
Ouch. Ouch. Hello? What was that? That's a dead Lobos. Huh. Well, guys, I got Lobos.
Oh man.
Oh, nice.
Oh, careful, careful!
Yeah, so this is a chainsaw. How do I grab it without turning it on?
You can.
You just drop it. Just careful, don't rip the sack.
We can take it in the other cart.
Don't rip the sack. Put it in the air.
Apollo.
Oh god.
No!
Apollo.
No!
Cave!
Apollo.
No! Stay away!
Apollo.
I'm so scared right now. Don't kill me. Hey!
Martha, you're bringing a cart worth 0, but...
Pretending to be busy, okay?
Damn, it killed me.
Oh, guys, there's a big box in here. Big box.
All that counts.
A huge box.
Wait, Larx, there's an item down here. Can you go grab that?
No, I don't.
Got this.
No.
Listen, Larx, do you trust me to hold you while you grab the item?
No. Well, actually, maybe a little bit.
There's not actually an item.
Oh, jeez.
No, no, no.
I'm scamming
Oh.
You need to lift it on this side.
Guys, careful. That's a giant that's a normal size replica of my coca.
Ooh.
What the fuck? That is a huge
one?
rooster. Oh, make room, make room.
Watch out.
Is it good?
Let's go.
Damn, giga money.
Yeah. That's a lot of money. Let's run.
Holy shit.
Alright, let's make a run for it. Carry the beach and put it in the cart.
But I heard something. Something scary.
Was it? I got frenzy-eyed with 1 HP.
Lobos.
What?
That's not good.
Oh, explosives.
Uh-oh.
Bomba. Bomba.
La bomba.
No, trust me.
Many
trust me.
bombs.
Don't throw them at me. Are they behind me?
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
fine.
they are.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Lobos!
See that?
No!
No!
What?
Oh
More
man.
bombs.
Oh!
Too many bombs.
Exploded.
I'm throwing them out. Oh, we made it! Come back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good throw. I got his head right in the cart.
No, we're safe though. Good.
Holy. Alright.
Easy.
Is Lobos back?
Nice.
Where's Lobos?
Yeah.
Lobos is in
Come
the
on.
shape.
Hey,
I got him.
Hey!
Yeah, it's good.
I'm blocked. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good hunting.
Very poggers.
Did you think I was gonna kill you, Apollo?
I mean, I thought you were gonna try. I didn't think you were gonna succeed. But I was still kind of scared of the chainsaw.
123k.
Nice.
Holy moly.
1, 2, 3. Learn how to count.
I can
Ooh,
only count
strength.
to 3. I can only count to 3.
Another strength. Yeah.
Sprint speed.
Yo.
Nice.
More stamina.
What's this thing? Indestructible drone.
Oh, indestructible, huge.
This one's
Did
pretty
anybody
good,
get
actually.
the feather?
I
don't
think
know.
I had it in my inventory,
Oh, okay, it probably comes back then.
potentially. Yeah, I'll see you in the next round, anyways.
Get a double
Holy
jump
shit.
for you, Larxa.
Just.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Oh,
No!
He's crashing
Steal
out.
it! Steal it from him!
Crashing out. Yeah.
Don't!
Get him!
Crashing out! Fuck him up!
Put him in jail.
Out.
Everyone, stay away.
Oh,
Ow.
my god.
You're going into jail.
Oh, it's a ball again. Why am I
Terrifying.
not
Yeah, you're going to jail.
surprised that me ball?
What do you? Okay.
We're gonna, yeah, we'll
I'll have no idea.
Yeah, nothing will alert them.
Oh shit.
Wait, this what? This? Oh!
that was
that?
close.
I
There's
thought
so
under
many,
the bench
but
didn't
you
count or
also,
something.
you guys also need some.
No, we
There's
don't.
so many.
Yeah, juice.
It's all for
Nah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna keep dying anyway, so.
Whoa, is it
Why'd you
extra
die so
jump?
much slower?
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
the
one
extra jump
HP
is
and I got
fun.
frenzy-eyed, and then I got no excuse. It's fine. I'm eating ramen.
Oh
my
that sounds good.
God.
That sounds so
Wish I
good.
had ramen.
Same.
I want cup noodles and a Red Bull.
Oh, we're at Hogwarts.
Mm.
Regular Red Bull or mixed with cream?
Ah, regular.
Mixed with vodka.
Vodka.
Holy.
Wait, Lepa, you finish?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah.
Torilla!
Perkele.
Torilla.
Satan.
Ooh.
Something good?
Oh, nice.
Have fun. Although it might.
Lobos, you want to come up here?
Oh.
See if there's anything.
You know what? I'm just gonna drag this.
Oops.
Oh.
Let's go.
Yeah, just do that. Do that.
Right here. Whoa. Oh.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, come
It
jump.
was the stash.
Oh, wait. You. Oh, right. You could boost yourself up there with the cauldron.
Oh, that doesn't hurt you? Or does
I don't
it?
know. Is that what you were doing, Tuka?
Hmm. I'll try.
Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. Let's see.
I'll try and catch you if you fall.
Whoop. Oh, that was so good.
I missed. I didn't catch you.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Fall damage. Okay.
Yeah, you take a lot of damage actually. It's scary.
What is it?
Oh, you almost landed.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can just put each other up, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
come over here, Lobos. I'll put you up.
Okay. Oh,
Good strategy.
did somebody die? I think that was a somebody died
Oh,
sound.
there's a frog.
Dude,
Chef.
That's crashing out.
All right, press Q.
Oh, Larxa killed the frog!
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill the frog.
Oh,
I can't, I'm not strong enough.
Oh.
Shit, I'm almost strong enough. Ah!
oh. Do you need more range?
I can't
He
jump.
died.
The frog died.
Oh, there
the
we
frog
go.
just died. What the hell?
Oh, nice, we got the first
Put
one.
me on the shelf.
Good.
Behind.
Hey,
Yeah, I got you.
solves that problem.
Lobos, you want the thing back?
What thing? Oh, you
Almost.
can have it. I'm me and Dis are having a moment.
My range is really bad. There you
Oh,
go.
There we go. Nice,
You're jealous?
Oh, there's a vase.
Oh.
There is a vase. I don't know if I have the strength for this.
It's a vase, not a vase.
Yo,
vase?
Valentine
Here,
gang,
I can
let's
put
go.
you up.
Can somebody
Press
help
Q.
with the vase?
Yo, get me up.
Yeah, I'm sending Lepa up.
Oh.
Very smart.
I'm coming.
Here. Okay, almost. Oh no!
Is there something up here?
There's a
va-
base.
A vase.
I'll use the indestructible thing on it.
Oh yeah. If
Oh,
you
do that,
indestructible
do that.
it, you could probably rotate it out, like over the ledge.
I have no strength. Literally no
Yeah.
strength.
Oh yeah.
Try to
Any help?
rotate it?
I can't even see it, man.
Oh.
Can you?
All right, I'm bringing Lobos up.
Bring Lobos.
Coming.
Oh, whoops.
Sounds good. Nice.
There you
nice,
go.
Nice.
I can still help.
Okay.
Wait, where?
I can still help.
This is
Where are
so
you?
fucked. He's below. Stop falling down, goddammit.
It's harder than it looks, man.
It's fun to jump. Oh.
All right, let me grab you, Leppa.
Yeah.
Thing's almost out of battery.
All right, stop dropping me. It's not funny.
There we go. All right,
Okay,
chunk it
guys.
down. Yoo!
Check the
What else,
other
Checking.
areas. Yeah.
I have vase.
Empty. Empty.
It is
Another
pretty good.
vase? Oh.
Got it.
Empty.
Thank you. Yeah, this one's empty.
All right. Oh yeah, there's fall damage, huh?
Oh, somebody killed something.
I took 15. Yes. Ow.
Oh.
Somebody
Frog
killed
side,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we just left the vase? What?
Yeah, we could put it in here. Looks good.
You want to take the bot?
I don't actually have space.
Oh, I can grab it.
It's in this cart. Somebody will get it. Surely.
Oh, we already finished the first. Is anybody dead? Yo, Black to Star, thank you for the year resub. Hello? Hmm. Okay, Lobos is dead. There's a head in the room over here.
Someone died? R.E.P.
Yeah, Lobos.
I'm surprised I haven't died yet.
Yeah. Make things like super light.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I have one of
careful.
those.
All right. Oh, goodbye.
All right.
I'm bringing
Called it
Lobos
pretty
back.
perfectly there.
Oh no.
You can just put it in the cart. It's okay.
Yeah, I can go on the cart. Fine. We good.
Are we missing Leppa?
He was sitting at an extract
there's
point.
a-
Head. There you go.
Oh.
He's blinked it.
Oh.
Oh?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
I was
there's one
waiting
here.
for the extra. Head!
What?
What the fuck, bro? I fucked up. I tried to, I shouldn't have went there. I didn't know where else to go, man. I actually didn't know where to go. I wanted to try to stun grenade, but it didn't work.
No! No! He's gonna eat me! He's eating me!
Apollo, nej, inte här. Nej, nej.
Oh, God.
There's no way you're running to me. Huh.
You're the sperma dead!
Get
You're
them.
sperma dead!
No, you can,
Dude, this is awful!
put the cart in your
Guys,
inventory,
this
Larxa.
is permadeath. Yeah, I can't. He's stuck forever. Oh my god. Wait, how did you do that?
You
What
can
the?
just put the. You can get the small cart in your inventory.
Oh.
Oh, they'll save me. It's
Small
okay.
items in the cart. This is cart.
Oh, the extraction is here. Wait.
What the fuck was that?
Oh. Yeah.
That was so weird. What? What just happened to my head?
What? How did two?
In the cart we go.
Let's go.
Hog?
Yeah. You're back.
Hello.
Hey.
They don't have any money in there.
But you don't even have anything. What are you bringing this cart?
It's Apollo. We're bringing Apollo here.
I'm invaluable. All right, we just bring this.
Priceless.
We're good to go. Priceless.
Priceless artifact.
So we need to put her in the museum.
True.
So this is feather drone.
Look over there.
Where's
Larxa.
Lobos?
Yeah.
Denzel?
Probably dead.
Hmm. There might be stuff up here. I wonder if they're all dead right now. And
Could be stuff up
watching
there.
me. Probably not, though. Probably not. I need more strength to rip this door off. Door! Door! Door!
You vomited on me.
Oh, that's hideous. Oh. Maybe this.
That's disgusting.
No idea where I am. Wait, there's people.
Lobos.
Actually, almost died there.
We need stuff.
What? Hi.
Stuff. We need stuff.
You need stuff?
I have one
We
thing.
need stuff.
There's a broom over here.
Ooh, stuff.
Broom. What?
No. Oh, shit. I'll just
There's
do
two.
this thing.
Oh, damn it. Did you do it again?
Don't just go. Stop puking on things. Just please go. Oh my god, go away. Disgusting.
Wait, Larxa, I have a crown for your birthday.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll take it from here.
Open your
Okay.
mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody open their mouth.
Put it on the cart.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, perfect.
Open
Dude, this thing has got to
wide.
go.
Hold on.
Yeah, it does.
Is it still on my face? Wait, do I
yeah,
still?
That is so gross.
Oh.
Thing on your face right now.
Whoa.
Damn.
Well, Limp is saving me at least.
It's your, here's what happens in your face.
my
Oh.
God, Lappa.
We can kill this thing.
Papa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Shut your.
Larxa,
Please.
Larxa, let's kill
Help
it.
us! Help us slam this
Oh,
thing!
I'm killing it.
Slam it! Yeah.
Up,
Up, down.
down, up, down, up,
Yeah.
down, up, down.
Why is it
Up,
not dead
down.
yet?
There you
No,
go.
no.
It was very valuable.
Don't puke on it! Don't puke on it! You're gonna puke
No.
on
In a
it.
moment.
You're gonna.
No, I just.
Why does
I just-
Larxa still have the face?
Yeah, I just look like this. I'm
Offensive.
born
That's
like
just her
this.
face.
I was born
She doesn't
this
even
way.
have a disease or anything. That's just her face.
Oh yeah.
Rude.
Start changing your voice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's a mod that applies
Yeah, it's a
upgrades
weird
for
mod.
everyone. Bro, the game is easy enough as it is.
But a good one.
If you use that team upgrades mod, you're just like trivializing the game completely. In my opinion. But I mean, obviously do what's fun for you.
Chat the Trog and WoW.
Wow.
Wait, they called you a trog?
Freaking
No, I
door.
called my chat a Trog because I thought they were cute.
That's
Yeah.
so mean. What
No,
the
but they're
hell?
so cute! Are you kidding?
No, they're not.
They're just little guys chilling, vibing.
Malformed creatures that are
Dude,
like
they're just
savage.
no,
No,
they're just a
get
little
up.
guy.
Let's try. Let's try.
Stop it.
Oh my god. Okay, what do I do with this stuff?
Okay, lift the top up. There we
I'm
go.
scared to break it.
Alright.
No, I can go in here.
Alright, is there
Perfect.
anything else Is there anything else? That we...
Smart Leppa, bringing it up
I think it's
backwards.
just these.
Did you guys have like a globe or a ball or something?
Yeah.
You just overplayed the
Yeah,
game.
little soul.
Well,
Yeah, I found a pocket card.
I mean the thing is, like in a team,
this.
if you do the team upgrade
Mine
thing,
now.
by like round 6, every single person in the
Nobody's
team,
telling. Oh my
if you
God,
just
why
pump
do you look
strength,
like that? I hate it.
everybody in the team can just.
That's born!
Well, I hate it.
I must be standing up. although.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you. Oh, he's gonna get smushed.
Still got about to die.
I got it.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. The sack of gold just took a smacking. There we go.
It's a
Yeah,
I think that
fat
one will
sack.
take this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Here's your stuff. Yes.
Oh.
Almost took your card.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, did someone want this feather drone, by the way?
Oh, how
I
much
this
health do you
feather
have?
drone. 16.
Oh, yep. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. You can hold on to it.
Alright, I'll hold on to it. I don't know what to use it for. I haven't used it before.
It makes like heavy objects light if you attach
Ooh,
it to
so like
them.
the big items then, yeah.
Yeah, they're like super easy to carry.
Frog.
Oh, we could go. Anybody want to go up here?
Me. No.
Thank you.
Oh. Or Lobos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are we? I don't know where the third one is. Or the fourth one.
Oh, there's one.
It's gonna be this
Nothing up
way.
here.
Okay.
It has to be, yeah. Oh, head. On the left side. We can go here. Oh, monster! Run! Oh,
There's a frog here. Frog.
Evil frog. Huh? Oh my god.
Jesus
That scared me.
Oh, loot in here.
Forgot the sack here.
What?
The sack.
Oh, nice.
Sack.
Here, 22k.
Oh. Holy shit.
Where are we going? Oh, is it here? Oh, does anyone want to? Oh, actually, I can maybe go.
What are you? What are you doing? Really?
Oh!
No! What happened? Did you fall? Oh!
Oh. Well, is there anything up there?
Wait, is your head in the balcony?
I think so. I don't think I'm getting saved, Lobos.
Oh,
All the way
jeez. Lepa's leaving us behind for sure. Oh, wait, no, I'm there.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, man.
Nice. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I
my.
hit him with the door.
Wow.
The globe.
Oh, quick.
Can you take this
Move.
globe?
Yeah. Got it.
Alright, cool. I see some lockers down here.
How'd you die?
Don't break it.
The head?
I
was baiting the frog to jump in the pit and he one-shot me.
Mm.
Yeah.
That head is about to break.
I see.
I killed another one, but the
Larxa.
stupid core never came close. He just fell into the pit.
Yeah.
I was getting
Excuse me?
tormented by a evil head.
Oh, jeez.
Uh,
Oh, bro. Oh, boy.
Dude, there's no way this is the extraction point.
We are so low.
This is
Nah, they got this. Larxa
oh,
has
no,
got
dude, the bag. That bag
million
is
stem.
bouncing in the slime.
No, no.
Oh!
I was trying to knock her off. No. Oh my god.
There's no fucking.
Wait, is that where your head's disc?
Sack.
Or is that a
No,
different
it's
room?
in
Oh,
Larx's
it's a
room.
larger sack.
That was instant karma.
Larx's room.
Oh, I think somebody died here.
Oh, she knows. She sees my head.
Oh!
There's a
Yeah.
head here somewhere.
It's in, my head's on the balcony, by the way.
Come back.
It bounced up on her. Maybe she
Look,
can
you
double
see this
jump.
chat? There's like a red dot there. There's someone died up
She
there.
has double
right?
jump, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she can get it, I think.
Oh, right, I can double jump.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, she found
What a
me.
gamer.
Saved.
Perfect.
Oh.
Leave it
Fall
on.
damage.
My savior.
Skill issue.
Oh man, I think everyone's dead. Tuka tried to kill me and died himself. So
Yeah, that is karma. Do you have this head?
yeah, well, yeah, I tried to throw it in the acid, but it bounced back up.
That's crazy.
Wow.
What
my
the hell?
God. No! Oh
my god.
Jesus.
That would have been game over right there.
No, it's up here. It's by the
Oh,
distraction. Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Uh-oh.
these heads are
Oh.
falling down.
Right,
Absolutely.
I swear- try and grab the bag when you res. I don't know.
Oh, well, it's the last
Is that-
extract, so
What?
we're good.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay,
Okay, let's
lucky, lucky.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Easy.
Nice.
Easy!
Well,
All right, we
don't
got it.
bounce off.
I
each
didn't
other.
think I was getting rezzed.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you got saved. That was crazy, actually.
Yahoo!
Larxa, no!
Wait, what happened? Oh, Larxa
She
just died.
tumbled.
Wait, how did
Full
Larxa
feather.
die?
She just
She jumped
tumbled
off.
forward right
Okay,
here.
Apollo, do you want a rematch?
No.
Where's her head?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Killed her, Lappa.
I'm throwing this in here.
Oh my, very funny!
How did you die?
I got my revenge, thank you.
Who
Lappa.
fucking killed me?
That was
What the
Lobos.
hell is going on down there?
Why is everybody dead again?
Apollo, why are you dead?
Someone
Larxa's
pushed me
dead
off
and
with the
Wizard's
cart.
dead.
There's Apollo, that's Apollo there.
Yeah.
I'll grab this.
Okay.
There are multiple monsters here.
Holy,
There are-
there's
Oh,
like
it
10
is so
frogs.
Jober.
There's no way. Oh, there's 2 heads, 2 frogs.
Why did anybody even have the cart, bro? What the fuck, man? Oh my god, Lobos, don't fall in.
Maybe?
Just go, guys. Just fucking go.
These heads everywhere.
Do we have any cards still? Yeah, we do.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I saw the head that way. Oops.
Yeah, let's stack them up.
Big head.
So
Oh,
much
dude,
dead
there's two
shit.
Yeah.
2 cubes.
Lobos has got this.
So many items.
Larxa. What is?
Nice.
Oh, that's
Is that everyone?
That's everyone, yeah.
Damn.
Damn,
We
gamers.
need to be careful here. This is far out, by the way.
I'll-
We are
I'll go
in deep
first.
right now.
Yeah,
I
we
see a
are.
grenade here.
Frog.
Smågrodorna. Så lustiga de är. Smågrodorna. Så lustiga de är. Got him.
Nice.
Way too easy. My god.
I think
what a
that
shot.
frog's just gonna respawn in like 1
That was
second.
crazy, actually.
All right, Lobos is pushing.
I'll catch up. I'm getting stamina.
You got this, Lobos.
1 HP in a dream.
Uh-oh.
Not
The other
flag.
frog.
Another flag up ahead.
I don't have
How many more grenades for that?
That's okay, that's okay. We can rush past.
Oh, he's bouncing around? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
He's bouncing. Ow! My head!
Sorry. We're almost there. Almost there. Like one more room.
Oh, that's.
a broken door.
Oh, look at this.
Darn.
Mass res.
Oh my god, he's doing it.
Where's the...
Oh shit.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Yeah, we got it.
Yay.
Way too easy.
Easy.
Good job, guys.
Are you guys proud of my grenade snipe? That was pretty fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was really good.
I did not think I was gonna hit that.
That was really impressive.
okay, this is my last round.
Okay,
Okay.
let's make it a good one.
Yeah.
Is there a
Hell
gun?
yeah.
Get the gun. Give Larxa the
Get
gun.
the gun. Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
There's a
the gun.
gun here, like an actual
What
gun.
the fuck?
See- No,
I
no, no,
think
no, no,
Trank
no.
is
Ooh,
better,
the
but
shotgun.
whatever Larxa wants.
Whatever Larxa wants. Gun or trank?
No, the gun. What? Track.
You want
I
the?
don't know.
You want this one, Larxa?
No.
Yeah,
You
see,
want this?
gun, yeah.
Hey!
Oh god.
Wait, what is that?
No way that just
What
happened.
the fuck?
Wait, do you want the gun?
Yeah.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
This is a bloody birthday.
Lobos?
Oh.
I have too much now.
Bye, Lobos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun goes.
Jeez.
Gun goes straight to Larxa.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit, chat.
Bombs me.
Taking a free little heal.
So pump it.
Nobody
Let's get
knows.
beat.
It's fine.
Too easy.
Oh, I got healed up.
All my health.
Little heal.
Disto, I saw that. You ran.
You know? You're a knower?
Yeah, I know. I know what you just did.
What did he do? It's
Oh,
very sus.
he cheated.
Yeah.
Level 7, this is freaky.
Get the gun, Larxa. Get the pistol.
Oh yeah,
right there.
pistola. But somebody else needs
Pistola.
a trank.
I'll take the trank.
Yeah.
I'll use it on you. If you try and shoot me.
Oh my god. Oh.
I thought I'd get away with it, chat.
What? Oh no!
Gary, where's the other card?
Lobos has it.
Oh. Awesome.
I don't think I have any strength. Does anybody have the feather or indestructible drone?
Maybe I can just lift it.
How much strength do you have?
5? Where
I can
am I
hold.
doing it? Ow!
Careful, careful. No, no, Larxie! Gotta be facing the upright. It's okay. I fixed it.
Oh!
Alright, I'm grabbing
yes,
it.
I didn't know. Okay, okay. I didn't know. Okay, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Start.
Now.
Do we have a card here? Here's
Where
a
to
card.
now?
Oh, Larxa.
Yeah?
Careful.
Where are you
Yeah, I'm
grabbing it?
stuck. In the middle.
Okay.
Oh, you need to stand that thing up, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's there. We
Like
go.
this.
That looks
like-
good.
That's good.
Okay.
If it's not standing up, it's gonna hurt itself.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
it's-
why.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
A former told me about the incident.
What?
I don't think we want to put it in yet.
Okay, okay, okay.
No.
Alright.
Leave it right there. Perfect.
Wait, Larxa, can you help up here?
Yeah.
Oh, the base.
Yeah. Big vase.
Okay, Larxa.
Phase?
Really careful with this thing. It's hard to get this thing out.
You have a lot of strength. It works against you.
Look how strong you are. Let's play this really carefully.
So just one vase.
Perfect.
Oh,
Oh. Put it down in the cart. Ma'am? Ma'am,
Larxa.
put it down. Put it down.
I got it! Hey!
Oh, that was almost scary.
All right. You want to put this in, Larxa? I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The box.
Yeah.
Wait.
You got something?
Yeah, I got a Starforge PC.
I'll lift Larxa. I got it.
Okay.
All right, perfect. That's perfect.
Beautiful.
That's a lot of money.
Whoa.
Don't we have a second cart? Did they bring it forward?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Damn, that's a fat stack.
Oh yeah.
Holy.
Wow.
Oh, it's this room.
If I had more range. What? Oh. Hi.
Hello.
Check this. Check this.
No! We have a tank.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, he was
Hell
like,
yeah.
check this, and then he fucking died.
Wait,
Can
what?
I hear my name?
Yeah.
Lobos
he
is
was like-
dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
Apollo.
That's his head.
Apollo, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. He did it himself.
Wait, I think I can maybe.
Hello.
We can't
What do you
get his
know?
head.
No.
It's gonna
now
keep
we got it.
bouncing.
No.
Oh.
I got it.
No, we have to catch it in the air. It's like in Portal.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Oh.
How are we supposed to get the server
I
room?
got it. I got it. Oh no, I don't have it. Oh no! It was right here.
So,
No.
can I jump to the other
Oh,
side?
Asa!
Perfect.
Yeah, you can double jump over there. But do we have...
Be really careful.
Yeah.
But how do we bring the server across?
You need like a range upgrade, I think.
You could hand it to us.
Wait, can I stand on the railing?
Yeah. Just gotta be really careful.
Okay.
Do it. Oh. Well, we can res her. It's okay.
Did she? Oh no!
She tried.
Hit the head.
I heard you say do it, and I expected it.
Oh my god, I have no range!
Huh? No!
Oh,
I couldn't
no.
catch it. This is like the worst room I've ever seen in this game, actually. This room is crazy.
Oh, nice.
Alright.
Alright.
Any loot?
Nothing.
Just head.
There's a server room, but we can't get it. Oh.
Wait, did somebody just...
Apollo just died.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the... Alright, let's just res him.
Oh my god. She's gonna kill me for that one. I bounce. Oh, put it up. Pick it up.
Push it, quick! Oh god, Leppa. Almost fell in the water.
I did?
Yeah?
No, I'm good. I'm really careful.
I just bonked Apollo right into the acid lake here. My god.
Deserved, to be honest.
After what she's done to me? Yeah, honestly. Hey, Apollo!
You little shit.
Well, yeah.
Experience for next time. What is that? It's a baby!
Baby.
Yes! Melt it!
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah! That's super
Got him.
So are we not getting the
My
server?
favorite thing.
We cannot get the server, I don't think.
I think we can.
It's-
Should we activate this guy? This
I don't
extract?
have range upgrades, I think.
Larxa surely has range.
Larxa, be careful. I have a plate. I have a plate
What about
behind
the
you.
feather drone?
Okay.
Does anyone have the
Guys, I
feather
found-
drone?
Yeah, I have it. No, I don't anymore actually.
Good.
I think I died
Nice.
with it.
Oh, standing. I
Yay!
like that. Okay.
Okay.
There's a computer up here.
Oh, there's so many rooms
Little
over
fog.
here. Big one?
There is a computer in here.
Holy moly.
Now this is
oh,
just a star
There's an
forge.
extraction point here, but there's no dotted line towards. Strange.
Perfect.
How much range do you have, Larxa?
How can I check?
Press tab.
Oh, I have 1 range.
Okay, here. I'm gonna go tiny. Don't you dare drop me. See if you can put me over there.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
that?
That's not quite far enough.
Wait, hold on.
Did-
Maybe.
This looks very dangerous.
Can I like toss you there?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Like this.
Oh my god, the cat! The cat! Oh. There's no way you're throwing him like that.
Yeah, but no, why does it work like that?
Why don't you just jump?
Oh.
That's insane.
Wow.
Oh, there's a scary monster.
Whoa.
Oh no, you. What the?
Well, he's already dead.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Wait, oh, okay. Alright, go
Alright,
back.
help me
Okay,
with this now.
Wait, how did you get there?
I just jumped. I don't know what the hell you two are doing.
I also wanted to jump.
No,
Okay,
she
I'm
has to
extending
sprint.
my arm. I'm extending?
We need
Listen.
more people here.
I'm telling you, this is a horrible idea. We are all going to die for this server.
No, we're not gonna die. We're gonna get a server. Look.
Is that the Blizzard servers?
Satana.
Fuck.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. She jumped off.
Well, we can't do this if people keep dying on their own from nothing.
Oh,
Bro, this would have been so.
I should have just jumped over there.
It's actually-
yeah, I
I
agree.
slipped!
Oh my god. Where is she? There.
Where the fuck is the feather drone? Dude, where's everything?
they can do this.
Oh my god.
There you go.
We can
This
can
thing's
level
gonna
knowledge
break.
this server that 3 people have died to.
They're freaking dead. We can't do this.
Worth like 10 bucks.
Dead.
It's absolutely breaking now. Aw, man.
It's time to get out of here.
Rip the server.
What? Oh!
What?
Oh my god.
I missed it. Oh, now he knows. Oh, here he goes.
Wait, did you die too? There's no way. There's no way you were complaining that entire time that too many people were dying to this thing. You're dead too.
Classic.
My god, no. Alright, well, time for a
The
Maserati.
server of destiny.
Is everyone dead?
Everyone
Larxa.
is dead.
R.E.P.O.
Oh man.
Disto. And, yes, we got everybody.
Not me.
Me.
As long as I don't get horrendously murdered, I should be fine.
Are you guys not in the extraction already?
To save
I
the
died. I went
raid.
down some stairs and I got jump scared by one of the bumpy boys, but I had 1 HP.
Oh.
I'm
It was
downstairs
like a
somewhere.
human spider that killed me.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is perfect.
Oh man.
I don't think I'm here.
Don't worry, guys.
Well, we'll
We
get
can
you
do
guys
this.
on the next one.
If I see a single one of you go back to that server, by the way, I will shoot you with the tranquilizer.
Oh no, my god!
Oh.
No.
That ain't no tranquilizer.
I will be protecting it with my life. None will touch the servers.
Touch.
Yeah.
that.
Woohoo.
Cash
Big
money,
play.
let's
Big
go.
play.
Welcome back, everyone. Do I need to
Oh,
fix
what if
this?
we get smashed by the
That's fine.
what? By the extracts thing. He was dangerously close.
Let's go!
Woo! Oh wait, not me.
Let's go!
Hey guys. Hey, hey.
Lobos!
Ow!
Woohoo!
Read Lobos
Yes.
and a Ballo.
Wait, I thought I saw Lopa in the thing. Where's the ball?
He said Lobo said he went down some stairs and died.
Hey guys, there's a server over here.
No, please stop. Get away. Get away from the server, man.
I'll find Lobos.
Okay. Ducky? Fog? Huh? That makes such a weird noise.
Oh my god, the jock, oh my...
That was you?
Yeah!
Hey, how do you do that?
Like this? Yeah, sure. What are you gonna spit on me?
I have an idea.
Oh, I see stairs. I bet. Oh,
I see gnome.
he's got to be down here.
Oh, Stinky slapped me!
What the? Oh God. Oh, I see Lobos.
Where's the ball? Oh! What? Wait. Is
What's
this a
this?
ball or Lapa? I can't tell. Guys, I found it! I found it! I found Steve
Okay.
Jackson and I found a head.
Are they still okay?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, Apollo's head. I found her head. I don't know about the rest though.
I have enough in this cart,
Oh?
but I don't know. I've got Lepa and Lobos. Fucking duck. Should we just put it in?
Yeah, just put it in.
Alright, I mean, okay.
Yeah, we'll do like Giga at the fourth one when they're back.
Well,
is this the fourth one?
this is the fourth. Alright, let's.
Ah, it's fine.
I think we can kill the duck.
Yeah, how do we kill it?
Oh, I barely missed. Oops.
Oh.
There was a giant, like, loot cart somewhere, but... It's okay.
So... Oh. Okay.
Yeah, what's your tail? What's your tail?
What
Oh,
happened?
hey guys, welcome back.
Hey!
Dude, there's like 1,000 monsters. What?
That's insane, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he
Oh,
killed
they
the
kicked
other
each
one.
other.
That's funny.
Yeah. I was so sad he didn't find me. I'm in the room that Lobos is in right now.
Oh, shit.
Kick your own!
Yeah. Oh, the little spider's gonna get him.
Jumped in.
Oh my god,
There's so many orbs in there, actually.
Lobos got this.
Okay, I'll get the server.
Oh.
It's just Lobos. There's no way Lobos is going for the damn server. No way.
Oh no.
Oh. No. Damn it. All things end in the server room, I guess.
Damn server.
That damn server room.
Oh,
shit.
disposal room.
Makura.
Oh, okay. Makura.
Ow.
Ow.
The bat. Holy shit, gun.
No, don't shoot me, please.
It doesn't even work. This guy's useless.
No.
Oh. No, get the fuck
Oh,
away
the
from
shotgun's
me.
out of my hand.
Oh. How? No, the shotgun's out. No.
Yeah, what are you gonna...
No.
No!
Oh, I hit myself in the head. Oh. I am the winner.
Killed both of us.
A winner
Uh,
is you.
I won by doing nothing.
Wow!
Luigi.
Roached out on it, huh?
Yeah. Hi!
Damn. Hey.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for
Yeah.
the
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you for coming to my birthday party. Thank you so much.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah.
No problem.
Grinds now to 60.
Good
Larxa,
luck.
before you grind,
Yeah.
they're doing a karaoke thing right now in
Yeah.
Gurubashi Arena.
Okay, I'm
You should
gonna
go to the karaoke.
Oh,
Alright.
shit.
Karaoke.
Thank you,
Let's
sir.
go.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
It was fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright. I'm going to the bathroom, chat. And then maybe we will try some more fatty. But yeah, I'll be right back.